Hello and welcome to Informatica Support videos. This is Nimi Joyjan from Informatica Global Customer Support, and I will be taking a short demo on how to create links between two custom resources using rule-based linking in Metadata Manager. A quick list of summary of this session. First, I will be going through few terms used in rule-based linking. The next one would be a demonstration of how the links are created using the XML involved in rule-based linking, followed by a short summary on where you can find more information about rule-based linking. And finally is how you can provide feedback for Informatica support videos. Rule-based links in Metadata Manager is used in order to define rules within an XML file which Metadata Manager uses to link matching elements. Two important terms involved in rule-based linking are endpoint and non-endpoint. So endpoint is an element that has a connection to another element in an external metadata source. Say for example in a power center resource, a source qualifier, a target definition, a lookup, a stored procedure, all of these are endpoint because they all are possible to have a link to an external source. Business intelligence, data modeling, and data integration resource types, they generally contain endpoints. Whereas custom, SAP R3, database management, and business glossary resource types, they do not contain endpoints. Now, the process which is used for rule-based linking, it varies whether you're creating a linking rules for a pair of models or whether it's between a pair of resources. Now, the option to use this linking between models was introduced in 951 hotfix 1. But in this example, we will be using linking only between resources, and they are custom resources. As you can see, database user here is the custom model I have created, and it has three classes, one inside the other. The top level being schema, which has table inside it and which has column inside it. So for this example, in order to demonstrate rule-based linking, I have created two custom resources using this custom model, and I'll be showing you between what elements or between what objects I am going to link using rule-based linking. As you can see, user A and user B are two custom resources loaded using the model I showed before. So it has exactly the same elements: test schema, loan is the table which I'm planning to link to this particular table using rule-based linking. As I mentioned earlier, we would only be dealing with on how to create links between two custom resources in this particular example. Firstly, for that we need a rule set file, which is something as shown before. Now this XML file should conform to the structure of the rule set file XML schema definition. Basically, a rule set file will contain source resource details, target resource details, what are the possible set of elements in the source resource, what are the possible set of elements in the target, and the expression which is used for matching objects between two different resources. As you can see, rule set is an element which can contain a group of rules to link object between two resources. Now it always contain a mandatory attribute called name, and this should be unique in Metadata Manager repository. Another element is the source resource. It has a mandatory attribute called name, which indicates which is the source resource used. So in this case, we are linking from user A. Same is the case for target resource. It also has a mandatory name attribute. In this case, the value is user B. As you can see, rule set contains rule and rule contains elements such as source filter, target filter and link. Element rule has a mandatory attribute called name, and this should be unique within the rule set, and the value of direction attribute. So again, direction attribute is optional for business glossary, but for custom resources or for links from a custom resource to a package resource, it needs to be present. So between custom resources or between a custom resource and a package resource, the direction value should be specified as source to target or target to source, else it will report errors in the log. Source filter element should always have a mandatory child element named element. Now this element can have an optional attribute called class. There are two more attributes which I haven't listed here. They both are optional. One is type and the other one is condition. So source filter basically lists all the possible objects in the source resource that you want to link. Target filter element has almost very similar way of working as source filter. So basically target filter, it filters a list of possible objects in the target resource that you want to link. Element link. So this is the element which defines the expression that specifies which filtered source and target objects Metadata Manager links. It has a required attribute named condition. Custom integration guide has very detailed guidelines on how one can specify condition. So in this particular example, all I'm mentioning is link an object in the source with name loan to the target object named loan. For any more information on how to create the condition, please refer to Custom Integration Guide of Metadata Manager. In versions 9.5.1 and before that, MMCMD create link rule set command was required to create the rule set in Warehouse. However, versions after 9.5.1 and 9.5.1, it can be done using Metadata Manager URL. Now I'm trying to upload the rule set file which we just explained. Linking rules, edit it, upload it. There are two ways to link the objects in the resources. The first one is loading the resource. The load process uses the rules to create the links between matching objects. And the other option is to use the resource link administration window in the load tab. So in case you want to link resources which are already loaded, you just have to go in there, select the resource and say create links. As you can see, the linking is now successful. Now if you go back to the catalog and select on the table loan, you can see the related catalog object loan comes up. If you select that, you can see that it's being linked to element loan in UCB. Now couple of information on how it works. So when you upload a rule set file, the Metadata Manager associates the rule set with the source and target resources configured in the XML file. If either of the source or the target resource do not exist, Metadata Manager still creates the rule set, and when you create the source or target resource, Metadata Manager associates the saved rule set with the resource. And now when you create or update a rule set, Metadata Manager does not create the links between the resource. In order to use the rules to link metadata objects between resources, you must load the resource or create the links in the resource link administration window, which we just saw now. That was a very short demonstration on how the rule-based linking works. Now chapter 12 of Metadata Manager Custom Metadata Integration Guide. This has many more samples and more examples on how you can link between two models. As I mentioned earlier, this example was just linking between two custom resources. Also, you may find KB articles if you log into support portal related to rule-based linking. Thank you for your time listening to this video. In case you have any feedback, please drop us emails to supportvideos@informatica.com, and you may find us on Twitter @infasupport.